night long and got that car back together for Candy Varney. And that number 71, you can see the tape on it and the bent rear bumper. But that car was upside down off of turn number 4 in the A main event. Got it fixed back up for night number 2. But your lineup will look like this for heat race number 1 in row number 4. The 17 of Tim Varney outside row number 3 from Bakersfield, California. The 12 of Jeff Thompson inside from Bakersfield. The 1 of Kylie Forster outside row number 2 from Bakersfield. The 11 Zach on the attack Forster inside from Phoenix, Arizona. The 114 of Sean Conyers outside row number 1 from Bakersfield. The 78 of Roy Maynard Jr. And on the point for heat race number 1 for your Sling and Dirt Mod Lights from Moore Park, California, it's Philip Barrow.
I'm wondering if Tim Varney's in that 71 trying to shake it down for Candy.
My heat sheet says that Candy Varney's supposed to be in heat number 3, but we're going to get not underway as we had a jump by the 29 of Phil Barrows on Roy Maynard Jr., so the caution will come out. We'll have to try it once again.
Uncle Phil jumping the gun.
So some very fast cars in heat race number 1. Keep your eyes on the front row of Barrows and Roy Maynard Jr., and you always have to keep your eye on our A main event victor of last night and the Joker chassis, the 11 machine of Zach on the attack Forrester. Outside row number 2, he picked up the A main event victory in night number 1 for the 34th running of the Budweiser Nationals at the Bakersfield Speedway. Trying to pick up more hardware here tonight in night number 2. Lights out, green flag this time off of turn number 4. They're side by side at the cone. Green flags in the air. We're underway with heat race number 1 for the Sling and Dirt Mod Lights.
They're going into turn number 1 and 2, and Uncle Phil leading the way. But then you've got Roy Maynard and Zach Forrester. Forrester weaving his way through, getting back down to the gutter early.
They're side by side for the second spot as Barrows leads lap number 1. Zach Forster down the bottom side. Roy Maynard Jr. around the top side. Those are both Joker chassis. As they drag race down the back straightaway, give the advantage to the 11 of Zach Forster. Coming around to lead lap number 2 is going to be the 29 of Philip Barrows.
Phil Barrows able to drive hard through turn 1 and drive away in turn 2. That's a rare sight for anybody, is to watch somebody stretch their lead away from Zach Forrester.
Zach Forrester now gains some ground through 3 and 4. Now we have a battle on our hands for that number 3 spot between Roy Maynard Jr. and Sean Conyers from Phoenix, Arizona. Battling down the back straight, we got a battle for first and second, third and fourth. Two distinct battles, two distinct racing grooves off of turn number 4. Now we got Zach on the attack Forrester on the high side going in turns 1 and 2.
Zach Forrester keeping that car as straight as he can through those turns to keep the RPMs up and not scrubbing any speed. He drives it hard into 3 and 4 as they come out of turn number 4. New leader, Zach Forrester.
Zach Forrester leads lap number 5. 3 laps remaining. Barrows gets a little bit of a push down in the center of turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow Zach Forster to stretch his lead down the back straightaway. Sean Conyers in the 114. Now looking to gain some ground on the 29 of Barrows. See if he can take over the second position. But it looks like he's going to have a long way to go as we have 2 laps remaining. Zach Forster stretching his lead over the 29 of Barrows down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. Up on the high side goes Zach on the attack Forster. White flag in the air one more time around.
Zach Forster, the leader of Forrester Racing. Not only is he a dad, a driver, a race team leader, but he also helps his daughter, Kylie Forster, in the 1. She's a competitive animal shower, shows animals competitively, and right now the only animal out there is Zach Forster. He takes down another win.
No taming Zach Forster here tonight. Well, problems for the 71 of Varney. No harm, no foul. Zach Forster picking up a heat race win here tonight. That's the second heat race win. He's going to try to go 2 for 2 in getting wins here at the Budweiser National in night number 1 and now night number 2. Next out on the track, heat race number 2. Outside row number 3 from Bakersfield, California, the 48 of Colby Lewis. Inside of Lewis from Mesa, Arizona, the 94 of Brandy Myers. Outside row number 2 from Chandler, Arizona, it's Steve Bender. Inside of Bender, it's the 14 machine of Hollywood, J.D. Brown. Outside row number 1 from right here in Bakersfield, California, the 4 machine of Anthony Balcazar. And on the point for heat race number 2 for your Sling and Dirt Mod Lights, the 24C of Kenny Cochran.
Lots of fast cars up front in this one. Anthony Balcazar, Kenny Cochran, and J.D. Brown going to be leading the way. It's going to be real tough for those two Arizona cars and the part-time driver, Colby Lewis, to be able to stay up with them. We'll see how they do.
We got 6 cars going 8 laps. The lineup is good. We should get the one to go this time by. So is it going to be the 24C of Kenny Cochran, the 4 of Anthony Balcazar, Hollywood J.D. Brown, Steve Bender, Brandy Myers, or Colby Lewis? Nudge your neighbor, make a friendly rager. Mike, who do you got in heat race number 2?
Right now, the way the track is, it's really fast on the high side. That plays into Anthony Balcazar, but the bottom is just as quick, and that's where J.D. Brown likes to hide out. I'm kind of conflicted with those two. I'm going to flip a coin here and see who I got. And it looks like Hollywood J.D. Brown.
I'll take Anthony Balcazar as we're side by side at the stripe. Green flags in the air. We're underway with heat race number 2. Down on the bottom side is Cochran. Now here comes Anthony Balcazar on the high side, getting that drive down the back straightaway in the number 4 machine. Hollywood J.D. Brown settles in the number 3 spot. Now looking underneath Kenny Cochran. He's got the left front up in the air, coming off of turn number 4. Give lap number 1 to Anthony Balcazar. Now we've got a battle on our hands for the lead. It's Anthony Balcazar. Then you'll pick up the Hollywood J.D. Brown in the number 14. Cochran in the number 24 running third. Then it's the 97 of Steve Bender from Chandler, Arizona. That is your top 4 as they go into turn number 1.
As they're coming out of turn number 2, it's still Anthony Balcazar and Hollywood J.D. Brown on a 2-car breakaway. Then Kenny Cochran in third spot. But he's got all sorts of fun with the 97 machine of Steve Bender right there with him. Here comes Colby Lewis sliding it up in there, trying to catch up to the 97.
Out front is all Anthony Balcazar. Fast time for him around the track, 15.985. 15.985 that time by. 15.872 for the 14 of Hollywood J.D. Brown as he looks underneath, coming off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they go. They're almost side by side going into turn number 2. They're nose to tail. Now Anthony Balcazar taking away that line off of turn number 4. Now Anthony's going to try the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. Hollywood J.D. Brown trying the high side, trying to get an RPM move down the back straightaway. Oh, they're nose to tail going into turn number 3.
Anthony Balcazar trying the bottom. His car is not liking it so much. J.D. Brown was able to drive on the high side and get up there and take the point.
Hollywood J.D. Brown got a little push in the center of 1 and 2, but he's able to drive away from the 4 machine down the back straightaway. We'll get the white flag this time off of turn number 4. That young man from right here in Bakersfield, California. 4 more corners to pick up heat race win number 1.
J.D. Brown driving hard that last lap. 0.3 of a second lead. As they come out of turn number 4, your winner, Hollywood J.D. Brown.
J.D. Brown picked up a very impressive heat race win over the 4 of Anthony Balcazar. And Kenny Cochran rounding out that podium finish in the top 3 with the 24C machine. So give it up for that kid right there in the 14, Hollywood J.D. Brown, picking up heat race number 2 victory. Now back out on the track will be our 3rd and final heat race for the Sling and Dirt Mod Lights in outside row number 3. Slated to start in the straight up 71, Candy Varney. Inside from Mesa, Arizona, the 52 of Brandon Priest. Outside row number 2 from Henderson, Nevada, the 40X of Derek Rossi. Inside from Phoenix, Arizona, the 88 of Mike Fay. Outside row number 1 from Bakersfield, the 23K of Caden Cochran. And on his inside from Mesa, Arizona, the 95 of Colin Bender. So your front row, Colin Bender from Mesa, Arizona, and your 2019 points championship from the Bakersfield Speedway, the 23K of Caden Cochran. Very fast front row. Keep your eyes on that 23K machine and that number 52 inside row number 3 from Mesa, Arizona, Brendan Priest, very fast in night number 1 in the number 52. Very distinct, different sound out of that machine.
Yeah, that car had a great run last night. A lot of people didn't recognize the car last night because they couldn't see it because it blends in with the dust. But, man, he was able to drive up there and get a great run. It's going to be hard for him here. He's got his work cut out for him right now. Caden Cochran in the 23K trying to drive away from the rest of the field.
Priest had a bad turns 1 and 2, makes it up in 3 and 4. Now in the number 4 spot as 23K of Caden Cochran comes around and leads lap number 1. In the number 2 spot will be Colin Bender from Mesa, Arizona. In the 40 machine is going to be in the number 3 spot of Derek Rossi. And rounding out that top 4 is the 52 of Brandon Priest.
Brandon Priest driving it to the bottom there in 1 and 2, trying to catch up to that 40 machine of Derek Rossi. Keeping it on the gutter. Rossi kind of does a little wiggle, and we got a new second place.
Brandon Priest, you can see him set that car early as he goes into turn number 3. Gets a good angle into turns 3 and 4. You'll see it right here. He sets it early right there. Trying to make up some ground on the 23K of Caden Cochran. Caden Cochran on the high side of turn number 4. We got one around in turns 3 and 4. That's the 95 of Colin Bender. Colin Bender around in turns 3 and 4. Caution flag does not come out. He was able to keep that thing moving. So no harm, no foul. We're underway. 4 laps down, making 5 this time by. 5 laps down, 3 laps remaining for the 23K of Caden Cochran.
Caden Cochran pushing the cushion through 1 and 2. Priest doing the same thing, trying to catch up to the man that has the points championship for 2019, Caden Cochran.
Caden Cochran in the Forester Racing number 23K. 6 laps in the books. 2 laps remaining. He's led all 6. Now we've got the 52 of Brandon Priest trying to make any type of ground he can. 1.06 seconds back as white flags in the air one more time around for the 23K of Caden Cochran.
Caden Cochran going through the high side of 1 and 2. Looking at his team, and the team's letting him know, hey, you got to go. And he does. Winner, heat race number 3.
Big time win for Caden Cochran, leading all 8 laps in the 8-lap heat race. Brandon Priest making a long haul and making it worth it here tonight at night number 2, getting the number 2 spot. Derek Rossi in the 40X in the number 3 spot. 4th will be the 88 of Mike Fay from Phoenix, Arizona. Now out on the track is our Motor City GMC IMCA Sport Mod division. Heat race number 1. A lot of cars here tonight. We've got 4 heat races.
Class full of heavy hitters this time. Starting in the rear, the back, it's going to be the 33 from Fraser Park, Cale Kanke. And on his inside, the 198K from Yuma, Arizona, Corey Hemphill. Row number 4 on the outside's got Kyle Wood in the 21, and the M13 of Matt Mayo Jr. Row number 3's got the Mr. Super National, the 74, Ethan Dotson. And on the inside from Surprise, Arizona, the 303, Kyler Reynolds. Austin Manziel in the 04M and Justin McPherson make up row number 2. And row number 1 on the outside, the 5B, Jason Pugh, and the 17 of Tyler Blankenship.
Oh, it's a long walk back from that booth.
You could have gone to turn 1.
Listen, I was hanging out with Sammy Hagar down here in turn number 4, having a good time, talking a little rock and roll, hanging out with the Speedway Illustrated magazine booth. Got hooked up on some T-shirts. I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah, I know. I got my subscription. Only $10, so I hooked up the subscription.
You got to have the subscription to Speedway Illustrated, man. That's where you get information on dirt track racing. Great magazine. Pick them up for $10 a year. Down there. Phenomenal.
12 subscription. Well, yeah, the 12 subscriptions. $10.
Plus the T-shirt.
And a T-shirt.
It's a $35 value.
At least.
You ready to go sport mod racing?
Ready to go sport mod racing. All right, Tyler Blankenship, the young man, 13 years old, or 14 years old now.
14, here we go. One next time around.
Going to be leading the way. Then on the outside, the 5B, Jason Pugh. Both those guys had some issues yesterday. See if this track will help them out. Have you noticed, Corey, that the outside temperatures cooled down? That has kept this track, kept a little moisture in it. We're going to see if it's going to burn off really quick here with these big tires and these big motors.
I'm going to bet money it does right now watching that racetrack. Here we go out of turn 4, looking for a green flag. We are going Sport Mod Racing here at the Budweiser.